Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Ricky. This is Filmtopia, home to film lovers and filmmakers. If you like anything to do with movies, this is the spot for you. This is the corner of the internet that you've been looking for. And lo and behold, we're here. Can you believe it? So phase one of Filmtopia, basically meaning like the first few months of Filmtopia, we would just live stream the watch party right when the episode dropped. But now that we're a little evolved and we're a little more, we're stronger, we're bigger now, and we've got a lot more things coming. I just want to say, expect more content throughout the entire week, and I'm keeping that promise. And that starts with today's it's not even a watch party this time. This is just a post discussion. Like I said last night, I wanted everybody to go home or go back and, get their rest, rewatch it if you have to, take some notes and bring those notes here so we can really, really talk about it. And by the way, YouTube fam, I just want to let you guys know I'm also live on Instagram. This is kind of funny seeing over here and seeing over here. But yeah, just gave a little BTS for the Instagram fam. But Instagram fam, this is where I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. And if you want, the link is in my bio to go check out the live going on right now on YouTube. We're going to do a Loki discussion. And yeah, and Sarah, I saw that you just joined, so thank you so much. I'll see you over there. Hello, peace. So everybody, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I know today is, you can say, I guess, not as common, right? We didn't usually do a live stream until the next episode dropped, but I'm really excited that now we have the ability to just talk about Loki almost every day of the week with each other. So for everybody here, thank you so much. Let's go through the chat really quick. I know RHZ Zoom is always, oh my gosh, RHZ Zoom seriously shows love all the time on each platform. So RHZ Zoom, one day you're gonna get a plaque over there on that wall or something, because you go hard, man. So thank you so much. And yes, the thumbnail, it's funny, it's just a makeshift thumbnail that I was like, this looks kind of cool. And on top of that, right now I have it in like a man bun or whatever, but I have the Loki hair, so why not? Oh man, Reddick's in the house. Awesome, let's go. Yeah, Reddick's pretty surprised at how RHZ Zoom always seems to be first in all the chats on all the videos. He's got all the notifications pressed. So so yeah, so if you're in here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way. And today's goal is we want to get to 300 subscribers, 300 new fellow Filmtopians. So let's do it. I know we can. Ulysses says he's part of the notifications gang. That's perfect. Let's go, Ulysses. Hopefully you can hop on tonight. Cool Kid Game says 15 minutes left. So exciting. Yep. Well, now 15 minutes are over. We are live, baby. And we've got a few people coming on. So Lizzie's in here. Hello. As Lizzie told me on Instagram, she's everywhere. Oh man. Denmark, Garona. Hey, dude. So everybody, this is awesome. This is one of the great things about Filmtopia, is that we are worldwide. Denmark Garona is in the Philippines. So I think that's awesome. Billy 24-8 says hi. Hello, Billy _24_8. I think the 24 and the 8 have to do with Kobe. Let me know if I'm right on that. I want to know. There we go. Sarah just watched Loki. She said she was going to watch Loki, and she did. So now she is here. We are going to get to really talk about it, and that's going to be super fun. Collaborative Kiwi is sending his greetings from class. So make sure you finish that class before you cruise over here, or just throw on the headphones and don't tell nobody. Pyro Hell is in the house. Pyro's been here since day one as well. So thank you, Pyro, for being here. And Billy just confirmed, yes, the 24 and the 8 is for Kobe. Perfect. Um, Anthony M says, "Tell your friends Denmark about Filmtopia." Yeah. So really quick disclosure or whatever. Before Loki last night, actually, one of the things that I didn't really know how to do was to send out my Filmtopians and tell you guys, or equip you guys with the right information to tell other people about this channel. I didn't necessarily have a heading. I didn't really have the I didn't my compass wasn't necessarily set. But now that I finally understand and I know and I have the aspirations to turn Filmtopia into what I want to turn it into. Now I have the verbiage and the things that to describe Filmtopia. And essentially, Filmtopia is for anybody that loves movies, loves talking about movies, loves discussing movies, loves thinking about movies, and also for people that love making movies, that love learning about how to make movies. And if there's any, cross pollination of that, like I said, this is your place. Really quick, I am going to check something really quick. Yep, and this is why. Hold on.
All right. First and foremost, if you guys can hear me and you guys hear a better sound, throw a thumbs up or something in the chat. I was going off of my AirPods and apparently I forgot to switch it to this. But you know what? That's the beauty about what we do, is that we live and we learn. And next time, I hope it doesn't happen for a long time or ever again. But yeah. Let's see. Billy248 says, "Remember in the beginning where Loki teleported to the Gobi Desert, Mongolia? I'm half Mongolian, so it was sick." Wow, that's pretty awesome. That's actually that's the beauty about movies, guys. The beauty about it is that we're able to connect with it. We're able to relate to it. We're able to see ourselves in it. So that's a perfect example of that. I don't know why, but the cameo, or like knowing that that as well, or seeing, like, for example, when you see a young artist, a young like musician, and you see them when they only have like 100 listeners, 100 followers, and then boom, they blow up to be the biggest pop star in the world. That, I don't know, you take like this sort of like approach where you're just like, yeah, that I was there. So with that said, Pyro Hell says, "Oh, now we vibing." Yes, we are. And with that said, why take up this beautiful screen real estate all by myself when I have fellow Filmtopians that can come and join me? And with that said, I want to introduce at the same time, they were going to get an introduction at the same time, both Lizzie and Anthony. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, didn't I just see you like 2 hours ago?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What?
I just see you guys like a few hours ago.
Oh, yeah.
Time is an illusion.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Time is an illusion. If we learned anything from last night, time is an illusion.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it real low key. I'm gonna play it real low key this time, because last time I scared Lizzie, so I'm gonna play it real low key.
So many times.
So many times. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, my energy is lovely right now. The karma is beautiful. I got the blue lights flowing. I'm feeling real USA right now.
I sense a lot of USA, a lot of Zen. And guys, throw in the chat. Throw in the chat really quick if you guys caught Anthony's like low key references. That was pretty slick. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, you did catch it. Okay.
Oh, I caught that.
Low key, not low key.
Hey, but I'll tell you this. Last night, RIP to everybody's headphones on from all of us. We all had a moment or so. But no, we live and we learn. And that's the beauty, is that, our emotions sometimes take over. But hey, I think that's part of the journey. But guys, can you believe it though? Here's what I'm like really stoked about. The fact that we're live right now.
Mhm.
We're again going back to at the beginning of Filmtopian doing the watch parties, we wouldn't see each other until the next week.
Right.
And sometimes those weeks would go really, really fast or really, really slow.
Right.
And
Right.
either way, I'd always just be super amped to get back. And so today, last night we did the thing, and I had set out. I have a bunch of plans for phase 2 of Filmtopia, and one of those is making sure we talk about Loki the very next day again,
Right.
because you can't get enough of whatever shows are going to be on. Like, you just can't get enough of it. And
No.
at least in my head, I don't know about you guys, but when I walk away from a show, when I walk away from a movie, my mind isn't off of that. My mind is attached to that for like the next few days.
Mm.
And now
it
that
becomes my entire personality.
Exactly.
Whatever show I'm currently watching.
You start quoting lines, you start mimicking, whether it's accents or their mannerisms. You may go and like dress like them the next day. I don't know, but I just know that's how I've gone about it.
Absolutely true. I remember when Wonder Woman 84 came out, and that opening scene where the bank robbery and everything. No, I'm sorry. The Justice League remix, the Snyder cut. And when Wonder Woman saves the day, and she goes up to the little girl, and the little girl comes up to her, and she's like, "Can I be like you someday?" that cute accent. I was walking around the house. I was driving my lady crazy. I was, "Can I be like you someday?" She was like, "Oh my God."
That's funny.
Yeah,
no,
sure.
and that's the beauty. Like I always say, like, why movies matter, because they really they're often a reflection of what's going on in life, but they also give us some sort of hope in life, and that's something that I've always taken away from movies.
Yeah.
And like I said, I walk the way I walk because I probably saw it in a movie. I talk the way I talk because I probably saw it in a movie. And that is the power of movie, everybody.
For me, movies is more about escapism. I think I walk the way I walk because of my daddy, but with regard to movies, it was escapism for me. Didn't always have the greatest childhood in the world, so it was what I think about. I think about me and my grandmother sitting up in her living room with the lights out and the fan on, watching. I'm talking now. I'm finna hit you with some old school stuff. I'm talking like Fred Astaire. And because I'm a big musical guy, so Singing in the Rain and stuff like that, and watching that stuff, and to this day knowing every line in those movies, you know what I mean? Even trying to do some of the dance steps Moses supposes, that whole thing. So yeah, it's a really happy place for me. That's what I love about this channel. It's a place where we can really get away from all that craziness that's going on out there with COVID and racial divide and whatnot. This is where we're a family and we get to escape and be together. Like I said last night, it's like a slumber party.
Yeah, exactly. A slumber party is like one of the best ways to put it, because that's essentially how these live streams came about, because I was watching, certain shows and just looking to my left and right and not seeing anybody to like talk about it with, like do those like pushes, you know what I'm saying? Like those like little shoulder things. Like,
Hey.
So for now, since COVID is the way it is, and because obviously we're spread across the world, this is the closest we can get to that, and I'm good with that.
I was sitting on my couch crying alone at the end of Mandalorian, so I'm very glad to be here.
Oh man, I'm gonna make a video / little short film about that. I got something for that. Really quick, the chat says Billy248 says, "I love your shirt. Thank you." This is actually, I got it on Amazon. If you guys want one too, just go check out, type in Loki shirts, and I found this one. It's nice, like the quality's nice for the price. And variant, what is that? L1130.
Yeah.
But by the way, so today, I don't know if anybody knows, but if you guys saw me on Instagram, I actually took the first step into the world post-COVID, or not post-COVID because it's not gone, but first step into getting back, integrating into the world. And I went to a San Diego Padres game, the MLB baseball team we have here. And it was crazy, man. It was crazy to finally, do something like that. It was such a blessing and such a big step for me and my family. But I bring that up because I didn't wear a Padres shirt. I didn't wear a jersey. I didn't wear a hat. Instead, I wore this. And I was literally this close from being on the Jumbotron. There was like these two girls that were like right here. And yeah, okay, they were prettier than me. That's fine. But, they didn't want to acknowledge this. And I took baby Grogu. I had my mask. I don't know if it's in the garage.
Nice.
But yeah, so.
Oh, look at Lizzie's.
Oh man.
I wonder
all the time now.
I wonder if in Mandalorian we're gonna see kind of like Groot. Is he gonna be a little bit older? If we see him, will he be a little bit older now? Will we get adolescent Groot, Grogu, or
that would be terrifying?
That's actually a great question.
The chaos that would arise.
I think personally they're gonna go the route of doing one more season of Baby, and then after that they're gonna go ahead and accelerate the timeline or whatever. Oh, but then again,
I'm thinking we're not gonna see him at all. I'm thinking we're not gonna see him at all. He's with Luke. Like Luke, they're gone. Like I
hope I'm wrong. Moneymaker.
Yeah. That's why I say it, because I'm saying it from like a producerial side / like the corporate side. Grogu being absent from any of the shows would be blasphemous. Like
that's
to them.
True.
That's what got me hooked on The Mandalorian was the relationship between the two of them.
Guys, by the way,
look at this face.
Yeah, he's adorable. Even that one is adorable. Hey, Rick, can I throw in something real quick?
Yeah, really quick. Before you do, let me put something on the screen. Pyro Hell says, "Hey yo, Anthony's the real MVP." Just want to throw that.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Anthony.
I agree. I second that.
Hey, Pyro, good looking out. We love you, baby. It's a team. Yeah. It's a team show, bro. It's all about.
Let's go, bro.
Hey, as you know, as part of our Filmtopian family, sometimes we do giveaways and things like that. Mm-hmm. I got my hands on an Xbox Series S. That's the digital one. That's the digital one, not the physical media one. The one where you download. And I'm donating that to the show. And we're somewhere down the road, maybe when Rick announced some other things that are happening in July, we're gonna have a raffle during one of our live streams. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. Filmtopia is where it's at. It's where friends get together and talk about movies and film and just have a good time. So tell everybody that you know, come to Filmtopia and check us out. And we're going to be doing a raffle for our live stream.
Wow. That is
elbow each other through the airwaves.
Oh yeah, I got you. Here, let me Liz, let me send it through. All right. All right, here's the first one. 1, 2.
Oh, other.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Wrong way. It's mirrored.
I went the wrong way. Was it this way? Oh, I went the wrong way.
Yeah.
No, but everybody that's here, I just want to say that is actually breaking news. Everybody, that is a huge donation and a huge that is just wow. Thank you, Anthony, for that. Everybody, I'm reacting with you. I didn't know this. So the graciousness of Anthony to do something like that for our community is beyond words. Right now I can't even process it, but we will figure something out. Obviously, here at like Anthony was saying, here at Filmtopia, we do giveaways, and with that being donated, I think that's going to be easily one of the greatest giveaways of all time. And because it's such a great item, don't think for a minute we're not going to make a great show or a great live thing about it. If Anthony upped the stakes with the item, guess what? I'm going to make sure we up the stakes with the production and with what and how we're going to give it out. For everybody out there, that is an air horn that I for the moment do not have on cue, so we will be using our mouths for that. But
What do you mean?
yeah,
it was definitely a real air horn.
Wow, that is like right now I'm still like tripping on that. That's pretty cool, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, and as Anthony was saying, now we have a heading. Now we have where I think all of this is going, and I'm much more confident in the content and in the value that I and all of us can bring to the Filmtopians here. So with that said, make sure to start telling your folks, your brothers and sisters, your friends, strangers that you socially distance from. Let everybody know about Filmtopia now, because we are open for business. I guess a good way to put it was the first few months of Filmtopia was like a soft opening, maybe select invites here, family and friends and people that were just, happen to walk by. And now we're in the stages of a grand opening, and I'm super excited to report that we are ready. We have a lot of stuff coming on the way, so anybody that subscribes is going to actually gain something from this. So that's a huge thing, and that's a huge thing that I want to make sure we do, which is provide value, provide you guys with a mental vacation, provide you guys with an escape, provide you guys with just all the good things you can think of. For example, who would have thought like a movie channel, right? A channel that discusses those types of topics will be giving away an Xbox series. You said S?
Yes.
Series S. That is crazy, guys. Like, so anything can happen at Filmtopia.
That's right.
Oh man. And Pyro Hell's really, he's with it. That was unexpected, Anthony being a real Filmtopian. Yes. And Pyro Hell is gonna let his people know.
Awesome.
No, that's like I said, super cool. And one thing is, we do have something on the way, something in pre-production right now. But the beauty about it is it's going to have this sort of feeling where, yes, of course, we talk about movies and everything movies, but it's going to be very lighthearted. It's going to be very fun and open. So you'll get to hear a lot of things. So I'm excited about that. Denmark Garona says, "Let's go." Super stoked about that. But yeah, so with that said, let's go ahead really quick and give a quick, I guess maybe we should start off with a quick recap and just kind of start thinking about what happened last night in Loki. And then once we do that, we'll get into a few things. Yeah. Sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, yeah, Pyro Hell says, "Let's go." And by the way, guys, if you guys have anybody that you guys want to send this video to, definitely feel free to do that. I'm not necessarily big on the numbers. I'm more big on getting more people here so they can listen to some awesome stuff. And that's not me trying to be like, I'm not trying to fake the funk on that. I really mean that. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. If I miss some things, if I miss like slight things that I forgot, definitely let me know. But essentially, and everybody, it is a spoiler discussion. I want to make sure that I say that on my yes, I say spoiler discussion in the title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big letters.
So this is a spoiler discussion for anybody that has not seen the episode. Make sure that you have seen it, and if you haven't, then just be okay with hearing what happens throughout the episode.
You have been warned.
You have been warned. You have been warned. So essentially, the minute the episode starts, we are in Avengers 1. We're watching like what happens at the end, towards the end of Endgame, when they go back to the timeline of 2012, and we're just seeing how Loki escaped with the Tesseract, because there was a time heist gone wrong by Iron Man and Ant-Man, and they kind of botched their part of the operation. Hulk did his part, Captain America did his part, but Iron Man and Ant-Man.
I don't know what we expected from those two. Love them both dearly, but.
So then, next thing you know, we obviously see the scene from Endgame, which was Loki. Oh, actually, I have it right here, and I should turn it on. I have the Tesseract, so essentially, let me play it out for you. The Tesseract gets kicked over to him. He grabs it. He looks around, and he goes, and he escapes. And then next thing you know, we are on. Where'd he end up?
Mongolia.
So then he's in Mongolia, in the deserts of Mongolia, which aptly Lizzie really, really did a great job of pointing out the reference. Always remember, guys, filmmakers love to reference either other filmmakers or past work. It's just one of those things. And so when you see Loki with the Tesseract, like he just transported to Mongolia, he's in like some sand dunes, but it was an absolute recall to Iron Man 1. And it definitely spotted it right away. Lizzie did. And I was really stoked because I love little tidbits like that. I think
great
those
catch,
things, like,
Lizzie. Great catch.
Yeah, those things are like make the secret sauce. And so next thing you know, right away, he sees the locals, the natives there. And I think if I'm not mistaken, he begins to like threaten them and this and that. But then
he gives his speech. I am Loki. I'm burdened with great purpose.
One fun thing is he immediately jumps up on the rock that's next to him.
Right.
Yeah. Just immediately, just to make himself look bigger. Like, hey, I'm a god.
For these four fishermen, these four people.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It doesn't really go well.
It doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't go well is because, boom, we get right into the, I guess, introduction of who we end up knowing as the TVA.
The Minutemen. I think they're called the Minutemen.
That's what they're called.
The Minutemen, right? So Minutemen are agents of the TVA, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Minutemen are referred to as the agents of the TVA. They have this awesome, like, little kind of walkway transporter type of thing where it just like appears out of nowhere. They walk through it.
Some kind of portal.
Like a portal, exactly. Yeah. And so then they tell Loki, this is probably one of the best parts of the whole episode. But they're like, Loki, you got to come with us. He's like, no. Next thing you know, what is it?
He said, they said, this is your last chance. He said, no, actually, this is your last chance.
And then, boom. And then, guys, I swear to you,
this
was the funniest part of the episode, possibly. He gets hit right here with a staff or something.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, his face is just going, like in super, super slow motion.
Funny, yeah.
And he's like falling to the ground. And in our heads as the audience, we're like, oh, like they just did this cool little slow motion sequence. But they like immediately tell us that it was just the TVA manipulating like time or whatever, because they were just saying they're moving at normal speed. And Loki was moving at 1/16 of their speed. And I just thought that was an amazing like little part. And then boom, that's how the episode gets started. It was a quick little
in the comments. Billy _24_8 says, "Oh, do you think when Loki teleported to the desert, he teleported back in time because the tribe said, 'Who are you?' as in we don't know you yet?" When people transport back in time, we see like it on the time cards. I don't think he transported back in time. The events with Loki were pretty isolated in the Manhattan area of New York. So I don't think that it was quite like worldwide, world spread. Everybody knows about what's going on with Loki. That's what I think was going on. So I don't think there was any time travel there. I think it was just...
I second that. As far as him traveling to a different time period. No, that was simply a different place on Earth. And kind of like reading, the Blue's Clues, it just seemed like people in that region wouldn't be privy to like that information yet, because they don't seem to have any like tech on them or anything. They were
really good in the episode of letting us know when it was a time jump, because they would always throw up a card. So they threw up 1568 or, they 1800s. They threw those up. So I would agree with you guys. I don't think that was a time jump. That was just to another area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And so with that said, once we get that really, really funny sequence out of the way, if I'm not mistaken, the credits begin to roll, right?
No, I don't think so.
No, not yet.
Long. It was a pretty long cold open. I think it went a little bit after
where
that. Didn't
I
it?
love Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I thought it went right up until he pulled out. I have a ticket when I think that's when the show started. Yeah, because they killed a guy who didn't have the ticket in front of him. He freaked. He's like, I got a ticket, and then then it went into that's why I was looking over at my son because I just watched it before our stream, and I was like, man, that's a long cold open. It's pretty.
Yeah.
So it's actually perfect. I have it pulled up here. And so they knock him out, they grab the Tesseract, and then they plant this thing in the ground.
Right.
That thing, can you guys explain that? Do you guys remember what it's called? What exactly it does?
I think I didn't catch the name, but I do know it's like a wipe. Think of it like the Men in Black blinker thing, right?
Yep.
It's similar to that in that it removes any remnants of time disruption. So I think back me up.
It resets. What it does is, I don't remember what it was called. There's a name for it though. I know there is. They plant it and it just resets that specific timeline that's going on. So what happens is there's a branch, something will branch off, they'll go in, plant their little device, and then it'll just completely destroy that timeline, basically. And it'll reset everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just like Adrian was saying yesterday, I'm a sucker for what do you call it? I'm a sucker for time travel, time manipulation,
time heists,
all those things. Like I love that stuff.
It's called a reset charge.
Reset charge. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
There you go. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
So essentially, they set this reset charge, and then next thing you know, cut to next scene, we find Loki being transported to the TVA in handcuffs. And it's actually the scene from, most of the trailers where you see him go, through this portal. Now he's in the TVA. He gets to meet one of the favorites, the new favorite characters from here on out. And he's going to be a huge hit. Casey, the what do you want to call Casey? Like he's like the desk clerk, reception area person, and he greets and checks him in. And Loki's just looking for answers. Loki is just simply looking for, what the heck is going on? Why are you guys doing this? Let me go. And then that is when we get the part where he is put in front of I guess you could call it a judge, right?
Yes.
It was a judge or someone that sentenced him that was judging, his crimes against time, right?
Right.
Timeline, the sacred timeline.
Right.
Yep. And then dude, I have a lot of favorite parts of the episode. So then she goes into this, back and forth with Loki, and they have each character, each actor that they put, alongside each other.
He's essentially what he's doing is he's trying to absolve himself of blame. He's trying to put it off on the Avengers. He's like, no, it's not me. It's the Avengers. They're the ones who I smell
meddling with time.
And he's like, I smelled 2 Tony Starks. That cologne from 2 Tony Starks is just too much. And he's like, but if you give me a force, you give me some resources, I'll go back and I'll take care of them. And she's like, I don't think so.
And you know what's funny, guys? I actually went a little ahead because there's something in between.
There's a little bit more.
The clerk and in between the judge. So right after he greets the clerk, or the clerk greets him and takes the Tesseract away, they go and delouse him, basically, in the TVA. They take off his whatever he's wearing.
This is the finest Asgardian leather.
Perfect. Perfect.
The jokes and the beats, they're coming quickly, even before they took off his clothes. I don't know if you saw the shapeshifter that was in custody.
Yep.
If you go back and look, there's a help me. Why am I forgetting names? I should know this stuff now. A Skrull. Thank you. There's a Skrull who's in custody.
Yeah.
And he shapeshifts and changes into a person. He's like, no, you got it all wrong. It's a quick little thing if you go back and watch. So that's the great thing about watching these movies. When you go back and you see it a second time, you pick up on all these little beats and these little jokes and stuff. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And so next thing you know, he has this again back and forth with the person that is like stripping him down of all his possessions, all those things, and then they have him sign a release form or some sort of contract saying that
verified that this is everything that you've ever said.
And then in Loki fashion, he goes and says one more thing. and then you just hear the printer in the back go, and then it's one more thing added to what he has said. He signs it, moves on, and
this is and it's not a cat.
Say that again?
Now. I said there is a cat in that office.
Oh, that is true.
Call it now. That's not a cat.
I asked if it was Nick Fury's
okay,
cat.
It's not Fury's cat. It's not Goose.
Okay.
But it is not a cat. I don't.
But is it the same
It's
species?
a flurkin.
Yes. It's a flurkin.
Yes.
Okay, so we're in agreement.
I'm calling it now. Okay. It's not a cat.
I agree.
You heard it here first. Lizzie's calling it. So the next thing you know, he is now in a different room, which is essentially the DMV of the TVA or the equivalent. And so he has to go through all these all these, what do you call it? Like not walled off, but these little things where you got to go around and it forms a line. Yeah, it's like a little queue. And on the opposite end of that room, there's another time
variant
perpetrator. He's yelling out, "I work for Goldman Sachs," blah blah blah. So he was apparently a human, an Earthling, and next thing you know, we're seeing two different contrasting things. Essentially, they use that guy to show what can happen if you go too far with the TVA, and immediately we get what happens if you mess with the TVA. They just simply say, okay, you're not worth the trouble, let's get rid of you. And sure enough, he didn't comply to many, many things, and he was blipped out of existence, for a lack of a better word. But this part was one of my favorite parts of the whole episode. And the reason why is because Miss Minutes begins to explain to Loki who the TVA is and what they do. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was done so masterfully because two things. One, that little area where Loki has to wait and he has to, go through all this line queue thing. And then he ends up at that TV, which is Miss Minutes telling him about the TVA. It reminded me a lot of Disneyland. That is very akin to how Disneyland rides work. When you get towards the front, you get prompted by their videos, right? Their videos that are going to tell you what happens on the ride, what you should do, what you should expect, and how you should act. And so I really like the fact that made me feel that way. And then two, it did something else, which was, again, here's another reference. They made this video that, again, explains the TVA, but the video was in this animated, old cartoony classic type of, style. But the reason why it really spoke to me was because it reminded me of Jurassic Park. Yep. It reminded me of when the creator of Jurassic Park, the man in the white clothes and the white onesie. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What's his name? Well, everybody knows exactly who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And he begins the tour of how Jurassic Park is made. And I just saw so many parallels between Miss Minutes explaining it and the narrator on the Jurassic Park one. So kudos to the filmmakers. Kudos to, I can't remember her last name right now, but Kate, the director, for doing stuff like that, because I think that's what makes movies even better is when you can integrate. For example, I'm watching it and I got my fix of Marvel and then I got my long-awaited fix of Jurassic Park. I'm really excited about Jurassic World Dominion. Nice. And Jurassic 1 I can watch every day.
The art style was also a subtle nod and a subtle callback to some of the older Marvel cartoons, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. So callbacks and just references left and right. Kudos to all the filmmakers that made sure that happened. And then I thought on top of everything, on top of all of that, what I thought was really cool was how it did a great job at explaining everything. Like no questions were left on my end. Like I was like, okay, if I was watching this for the first time, or if I would have just jumped into Loki, not seen anything else, that's that got me up to speed.
And they did it
It
smoothly while
Yep.
also referencing Doctor Strange and the Multitude of Madness, right? Multiverse of Madness. That was smooth how they slipped that in. Ooh. So it's like, oh yeah, okay.
Hi, Jordan.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out Jordan's in the chat. Jordan, hello.
Hi, Jordan.
Hello.
Jordan, I'm gonna be putting the link in the chat very soon. Let me get through this recap, and then if you feel like it, if you have the time or the space to do it, you're more than welcome.
Jordan rocking the curls. I see you.
Jordan. That's so cool. But yeah, so then we get the Miss Minutes thing, and then that's when we end up with the judge that that's basically going to sentence him. What was she going to sentence him to, or what was the whole thing? She just wanted him to plead guilty, right?
Yeah,
that was
they were going to zap him.
Yeah, I think so too. And then Owen Wilson interrupted. I think he was about to get de-rezzed. It looked that way.
Yeah.
Crimes against the sacred timeline.
Exactly.
You know, something else. I think it's important for fans to remember this one thing too, and I think it's masterful what they did. You have to remember, this iteration of Loki is not the evolved Loki who started to love his brother and said, "Don't worry, brother. One day we'll see our day in the sun." This is the different Loki.
2012 Loki.
Right.
This is the Loki that was working for Thanos.
Right. This is the Loki that attacked New York Loki. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine. You have to keep that in mind.
This is I'm a god, you dull creature. Loki.
Right.
And you know, I thought it was a perfect, as far as Tom Hiddleston goes, the actor that plays Loki. I thought he went into a great time capsule of sorts to recapture what 2012 Loki was. And I'm telling you, throughout this episode, I swear to you, in my head I was just like, did they film this like back then? You know, obviously actors have amazing capabilities, but still, just even the way Loki looks, it doesn't look like he aged a bit in real life or on screen. So yeah. So by the way, right after the Miss Minutes thing is when the Loki intro finally happened. And when that Loki intro finally happened, that to me was like you said earlier, Anthony, it was a cold open for I think about like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so fitting, so fitting for this show, for what they wanted to execute in that cold open. Again, the cold open was meant to catch you up, explain certain new things, and leave you on somewhat of like a cliffhanger to want to keep going. When that intro comes in and it's like this black and white, it kind of looks like a projector, and it's not like the trailers or the teasers we saw all year. Like those ones are really nice and graphically done in After Effects and blah blah blah, and they're all changing different fonts and this and that, different colors, silver, copper, gold, and like green, emerald. These were just straight up, background was black, letters were white, and it looked like it was being projected. So I don't know what that means. I felt it meant something. Don't know what it means yet.
It was a reference to something.
Yeah, if anybody in the chat,
it was a reference. I know because I've seen it before.
Yeah, I'm really excited to find out what that meant, and I'm really curious to see how it will look in episodes two.
And chat, if you got any ideas about what you think that projection means, holler at us. Hit us up in the chat so we can talk about it.
One thing I have seen that Loki is doing a lot with a lot of different tropes, a lot of different plot points, is referencing a lot of other media, which is really cool. I really like that. But it's just kind of like taking things and just kind of sticking them together in like a little puzzle piece. And I saw a few people like were like, oh, we've seen all of this before, you know, so why are we doing this again in Loki? Not necessarily in the MCU, but in other pieces of media. And I really like that Loki's just kind of like, this is mine now, this is mine now, this is mine now, this is mine now. I like that. I think that's really cool to see.
Yeah. No, I was very, very pleased with the things that they did in episode 1. You know, someone could make the argument that they retreaded old waters or whatever. But in reality, I don't think so. I think what they did was they just really quickly caught you up in a lot of ways while moving the story in the episode and the series forward.
Well, you need that.
Revisiting that was necessary to understand where we're going.
Absolutely. You need that connective tissue for the casual watcher. Like, for example, someone like my girlfriend, who she is not a superhero movie watcher, but by virtue of her being my girlfriend, she goes with me to the theaters. So she knows she'll watch the movies and she'll remember the characters, but she needs that. She needs that catch up so that she can go, oh, I remember that was from this movie. And oh, yeah, I remember that. So that connective tissue helps kind of refresh her memory and everything. So I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I think those types of things in movies are just, you know, in the visual medium is pretty awesome, which is as a filmmaker or when you're making, you know, show running these shows, when you do something like that, it's kind of cool because for the new watcher, for the person that's never seen it before or saw it super long time ago, you get that, you know, up to speed. But then us, as someone that watches everything, reads everything, sees everything, for me, it's like, what do you call it? It's just like a nice nostalgic little ride that you get to go on, and it's new visuals, you know,
it's like,
new music. Yeah,
I know this.
The only issue that I think some people may have, and I'm not sure if this is the case, is that, you know, this show is a condensed show. It's 6 episodes, and it's kind of like, come on, get to it. You kind of want to get to the next thing. I saw this before. Let's go. So I
think what they did really well is that they showed us a new perspective. And I have notes. I have a whole tangent on this. Is they showed it to us again, but kind of they shifted our perspective. Like, we already know all this about Loki, but we're getting to see this new variant, for lack of a better word, react to how this goes down. And it's kind of forcing us and him to be like, okay, well, how does this all fit in now? Now that we're on a new timeline.
Right.
Yeah, I felt like all of us, I felt like all of us were Loki in this first episode. Like, there was a huge Loki POV throughout all of this, and we'll get into one of the biggest moments of the episode. But again, everybody that's in here, again, this is a spoiler discussion, so if you have not seen the episode, make sure to watch it. But shout out to the chat. Ulysses is here. Captain Filmtopia, the grind don't stop. Yes, the grind does not stop. Me and my castmates were out here. And Ulysses says this isn't Loki's final form. We'll see. Loki is low-key crazy. He's something else.
Loki is still stuck in 2012.
Jordan is saying she has no idea as far as what we asked the chat. What was it that we asked the chat? We asked
what the title card.
Oh yeah. Why the
title card was? Why was it black and white? Was like that? I know I've seen it before. I just don't know where it's from.
Yeah, exactly. And Ben Tolson just finished watching the first episode. By the way, guys, big shout out to Ben. Ben is out here. He is a fellow Filmtopian that we assembled, that we recruited over on Heather Ramirez's channel. If you guys are aspiring YouTubers or aspiring creators, or you guys have a passion that you're passionate about and you want to pursue in life, go over to Heather Ramirez's page. She has an awesome that's what she does for YouTube, is she helps people like myself, people across this whole platform, be able to follow their passions and make a career out of it. And Ben is also on that same journey, so shout out to Ben. I can't wait to hear what Ben has to say about the episode. But yeah. As Anthony's asking, Ben, what did you think? If, by the way, guys, anybody's still in here, I just want to say I will be posting the link to come on to the chat or on the live stream right after we finish recapping the episode, and we'll all get to talk about it together. So if you would like, keep that in mind. And by the way, guys, if you are not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. As you see the ticker down below, it says, let's get to 300 subscribers tonight. Hit that subscribe button.
Hit the like button.
Filmtopian. Yeah, hit the like button. And just so as a breakdown, so people know, at least from my research and from what I've heard, the like button, all that does, guys, is it just tells YouTube, hey, this video might be kind of lit. Let's show it to someone else. So, with that said, Pyro Hell says maybe the projection aesthetic reflects the time some of the membresia of the TVA come from, like Mobius likes 90s things. It will maybe, oh, that's a great, dude, that is a great, perfectly said. I really like that theory.
Wondering where it's from.
Yeah, so I'm actually, like I said earlier, I'm very, very curious to see what next episode is going to be like. I do not really quick vote panel. So do you think next week's will be the same or different? I say different. Mine.
I'm going to go with different just because it's the way that Loki works. He's chaos, mischief. Yeah. It would be much more on brand for him to to change it up every time.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got a trifecta here, everybody. We've got a trifecta that next week Loki's intro, that like, you know, the Loki logo will be different. I really like this week, so hopefully next week's will also impress me. But Billy248 says, do you think that Loki saw how he was going to die? It messed up time because people, when time traveling, aren't supposed to see some stuff. I think what you're trying to, or the way I'm interpreting this is that you're saying kind of like a butterfly effect type of thing.
Yeah, like the basic rule of time travel is you're not supposed to see how things happen, right?
I'm thinking eventually this will get us to Multiverse of Madness. I think these 6 episodes, he's going to do some right things. He's going to fix something, fix here, fix there. But I think in the end, I think he's going to do one thing to avert his own death or something that's going to create that Multiverse of Madness.
I think ultimately it's going to come back to bite us.
He's Loki. Yeah. He's Loki.
Loki.
Trickster God.
He is burdened with glorious purpose. No, but like it is in the chat. Like it is, welcome back. Hey, yo. I
want to ask
totally legit air horn.
I want to ask her like the name of her show. Is it like Telling It Like It Is? And so it's like it is, telling it like it is, or is it, or does it have another? I'd like to know what the meaning.
You want to hear like the actually, she told us the meaning. I think a few minutes after you hopped off yesterday. Okay. But I'm gonna when she comes back on today. By the way, April, if you're on here, I will be posting the link to get on right after we finish this recap of the episode. Once we do that, we're gonna open it up as a panel like we saw yesterday. So. Look out for that in the chat. But yes, I'll let April explain again, like it is her channel. She has a great message behind what she's doing. And I can't wait until she tells you guys about it. And so you guys can go check out her channel and subscribe. So one more thing before I get back into the recap, which is Ben, I loved it. Ben says, I loved it. The Avengers series left me really wanting more. I felt they had only just started getting us invested emotionally by Endgame. I'm glad they left the door open and that we get to see more. Yes, seriously, one of the things about episode 1 that I really enjoyed was the fact that we got to see all, like, in a way, like we got to see all of the Infinity Saga flash before our eyes. And for me, it didn't minimize it. To me, it actually kind of told me that was a moment in time and its legacy is sealed. No, you don't have, even if we start juggling Infinity Stones, even if we, cook some Infinity Stones, don't worry. You guys know that the Infinity Saga is forever, like in the Hall of Fame. So no matter what we do from here on out, that will always be amazing and epic and gargantuan. And so I don't know. I felt this nice, like I said, I felt like that is packaged, sealed, and no longer anything can affect it. And everything from here on out, I'm just taking it how it is. So seeing those Infinity Stones in the drawer didn't bother me, for me personally. So yeah, and then like I said, hold on, like it is. Nice to see everyone. Sorry, I'm in the car going home. Just bought my graduation dress. Woo!
Hey.
Graduation. It's graduation. Oh, that was good. That was really good. No, like it is awesome. So for meantime, definitely, you know, just hear us out, and hopefully we give you a good car ride. And then Ben, one more thing. Ben says, as for the first episode, I agree that this was a great perspective shift and was a necessary step to get everyone up to speed. It was kind of an emotional primer. Whoa, I love that word or that phrase, emotional primer. Dude, so throughout, you guys are all going to find out that throughout any live stream, throughout any stuff we make here on Filmtopia, you will get some gems like that. So emotional primer. I know Lizzie's got one called emotional whiplash.
Yeah, there's that.
There's
a lot. There's a lot of Lizzieisms. Okay.
Yeah. And I know Anthony, man. Anthony's got some good ones too. So we definitely appreciate everybody in the chat, and definitely any isms you have of yourself, let's go. And then Billy 24A says we're at 257 subs now. Let's go.
All right, back to the recap. I'm gonna get back on track.
Thank you. Thank you. You are our moderator for the evening. So where were we? So we're now at the part where
with the judge.
With the judge,
Sentencing.
The judge is just reading out what Loki's done. Loki's blaming it on the Avengers, basically doing the you dance where he should be doing the me dance, and a lot of pointing fingers, a lot of saying someone else is doing this, it's their fault, blah 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 blah. And that's a typical or common, you know, attribute to people that, you know, struggle with accepting blame or struggle with, you know, showing weakness, struggle with being vulnerable. And we've come to find out, you know, Loki in a way is kind of like the bully in all of this, right? He's a bully, or has a bully mentality, but in a bit I'll get to how that, you know, is relinquished.
She literally has pages of notes.
I went in and I analyzed Loki's character. So.
Wow.
Ooh, dang, that's
I love my castmates.
For real. And so we get to see Loki finally. He's about to get sentenced, and then boom, Mobius walks in. And then Mobius had a little backstory of his own. He was right after the credits happened. We see him in action as a Minuteman, or he's probably like a detective among like cops, right? Policemen.
Probably.
He's probably the detective, as a comparison. And so we see him in the 1500s, and he is allocating or getting this child to come back to her timeline. But the huge bombshell in that entire scene was they were in this church setting, and we go from this window that has an angel on it, and where he finally meets the child, we get to see this.
That was Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc. Sorry. Yes, so there was a Joan of Arc.
I have a thing. Joan of Arc in the background. She was, you know, a saint. She was burned for heresy. And I think that it might kind of be like a little, both the devil and Joan of Arc could be a nod to Lady Loki, who is messing with the timeline, and therefore the TVA wants to quote unquote burn her for heresy.
I've got chills, man, because like hearing Lady Loki, just like, oh man, this episode, the feeling, the atmosphere you get from, you know, whether it's the visuals, whether it's the camera they use, whether it's the score they're implementing. Seriously, it's amazing. But Really quick, Pyro Hell says, I think TVA is fake news, dude. Mobius and the other TVA stuff must have had their memory erased or been brainwashed. Each of them must have been taken out of their timeline to work for someone else. Now that, holy cannoli, that is another. We just, you know how there's timelines?
Wow.
That's another live stream timeline that we could go down.
Wow.
Yeah, I said in my notes, I think that the timekeepers, like the big three, like the timekeepers, either don't exist because during the judge scene, it was like, well, have you ever met the timekeepers? Like, who's the man behind the curtain, right? They either don't exist or they're evil.
Oh man, I honestly didn't even see, like, right now, up until Pyro Hell said that and Lizzie, you said what you said. I was like very innocent, thinking, "Oh no, they are the TVA, and they know what they're doing." Oh man, I'm kind of sad. Like,
now
MCU,
my understanding's all messed up because now I'm thinking, okay, maybe this TVA, they're gonna be a part of Kang's crew because you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, Kang's gonna be an Ant-Man. We know that Kang is a time traveler. Maybe this is the early version of Kang's people. I don't know. It's just so many things that are flowing around now. You're
so
like,
many theories.
Yeah.
Dude, I am like, right now I'm like, I'm telling you, my head went into a different timeline, like a variant timeline. Cheers to that. So then we get the lowdown on Mobius, and then we finally get to see Mobius alongside Loki. And from that point on, seriously, the rock stars just begin to shine.
Great dialogue.
They put on a
great dialogue exchange. Great dialogue exchange, yeah.
Big ups, big kudos to the cast and the crew. And seeing that dynamic was something that you assumed or you thought was going to happen via the commercials, via the teasers. You just assumed that's what it was probably going to feel like. But when you actually got to see it and it came true, it was the hype met the reality. Exactly.
People talk about Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie's chemistry, both on screen and off screen, a whole lot. But that was expected because we'd seen them before. But whereas Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson, we hadn't seen them in this dynamic before, so we had no idea what to expect. And their chemistry, again, was through the roof.
Yeah,
that was really cool to see.
And I can listen to Owen Wilson any day, all day. He's one of my favorite just entertainers of all time.
You know what's dope about him? He's the same guy in every movie. In Wedding Crashers, and even when he's talking to the judge, and he's like, you know, me looking up at you, I like that. That's great. He's got this mannerism that's really funny.
He's got this
plays that in every movie. Yeah. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
No, I said like he's got a smooth criminal type of vibe to him, like just very, very sly, very. Yesterday, I think Adrian put in the chat
almost
understated, and that he was rocking the silver fox. He was in it. He had gray hair, but it suited him. It seemed very George Clooney like as far as like just that slick, cool nature. But yeah, maybe at the end of the show or something, I'll try to do like a Owen Wilson, like I don't know if I can though. I was gonna say like an Owen Wilson like accent / like how he talks. Like what's one of his things? He goes, wait, hold on. He goes, what? Oh, I can't do it. I'm laughing too much. I can't do it right now.
Oh my God.
But if you guys stick around,
Filmtopia kids, you get it all. You get movies, you get film, you get Xboxes, and you get impersonations, and you get Lizzie, and you just don't know what's going to happen on this show.
You get Lizzie.
Wow. Did it do it? No? Did it come out?
The green wall.
Okay. I'll work on it. I'll come back stronger. But yeah, so this recap. So we see Mobius and him going back and forth. They go to this room, and in that room is where we get probably easily the best back and forth, the best just that little the dynamic between them. We get to really see it, and that's Mobius Owen Wilson is grilling this guy, but in a very good cop way. And I said this on the live stream yesterday that seeing those two bounce off of each other, what it felt like was when a smart person meet a smarter person, but that smarter person isn't really there to rub it in your face or anything. But, you know, the one that feels less smart is actually a little like, you know, they're kind of rocked at the fact that they're not winning, at the fact that they're not, you know, in control. So I really, really enjoyed that about the dynamic. And because Mobius is just asking him simple questions, man. Like, and then Loki is over here getting stumped or tripping over his own words, kind of doubting why he's saying it. You at least that's how I felt. What you guys think?
Lizzie?
I have pages about this.
Go for it.
I don't want to take up a whole lot of time, so I'll have my own little tangent later on.
No, do your thing.
Seriously. No.
How about this? That part, like your big, because I definitely want to make sure we go through your notes, but we'll go through that once we get some more people on the panel so you can tell them as well.
A lot of it is just Mobius is smarter than Loki, and they both know it, but Loki is not willing to like outwardly admit it, and it's a quiet confidence that Mobius has, and I think that's really what drives Loki crazy, is because he's used to rubbing it in people's faces like, ha ha, I know what's going on. And so he expects somebody who's smarter than him to rub it in his face. And he could, you know, retaliate to that because there's like this aggression there, and he knows how to do that. He knows how to fight that. He knows how to be aggressive, but he doesn't understand how to go about having a conversation with someone who genuinely wants to have a conversation with him and like try to figure this out. There isn't any, he's not accusing him. He's not like, well, you're an evil person just for the sake of saying you're an evil person. It's literally just, I want to figure this out. Let's figure this out together. And he doesn't know how to cooperate with people. Yeah. Especially 2012 Loki.
For me, it's a throwback to Nick Fury. You have to remember, essentially, what Mobius is doing is he's recruiting. He's recruiting Loki, right? And so it's same thing like Nick recruiting Tony Stark, right?
Yeah.
They are the smartest people in the room, right? They know more, right? But I have to let you think that you have the upper hand when all along what I'm trying to get you to do is what I want you to do, right? So
playing right into my hands.
Playing right into my hands. Listen, Tony would have never known what Nick was up to, right? Cap snuck off on his own, found the weapons on the helicarrier, brought it back to the room. Tony just stuck a little machine underneath the computer and let it do all the work for him, right? But Nick had the upper hand leading up to all those first few Iron Man movies, you know, and the same thing here. Listen, I've got all the cards. The only thing that was really dope was that Loki picked his pocket and took the little doohickey that was able to.
He's good at being sneaky. He's not good at being smart.
Right.
That's a good one. Yeah. That is so true. A question on that pickpocket. Do you guys remember if we got to visually see that? I'm struggling right now.
No, it wasn't there. I watched.
We didn't see it.
Yeah, it was not there.
I looked for it.
Because that was, I thought, you know, to be honest, like afterwards, I thought if I go back and I don't see like where we actually got to see like maybe even an inch of him doing something like that, I was gonna be like, I don't really like that. I kind of wanted to see some little Easter egg being left there that we can go back and see him doing that. But that's not Loki, man.
I think what's genius about it is that they didn't show us. They never showed us like he brushed against him or anything like that. It's just that's how smooth Loki is. We didn't need to. We just accepted it. Wow, he picked his pocket.
Yep, exactly. And that's why my mindset on that part just turned completely to what you guys are saying, because I was like, no, that right there, that's Loki. That's something Loki would do, and that's something I would expect from a Loki show. Right. And yeah, so as you guys heard, picks pockets Mobius basically has the Mobius has a little device that can move a remote that can move Loki through time per se. So if Loki gets up and is about to punch you, he can just rewind you like the movie Click, and you'll go back to the seat you're on. And by the way, really quick, someone did subscribe. I am not sure who. It will show up on my screen really quick, and I cannot read that, but I hope everybody can. Let's improve together. Just subscribed. There we go.
Hey,
thank you. Let's
it.
improve. I appreciate that. Welcome to Filmtopia.
Yes.
And so they go ahead and he pickpockets him, takes that device out of Mobius's hand, and that's what Mobius is using to control him, make sure that he doesn't attack him, this and that. And then you would think that, you know, Loki would make his grand escape, but in great Loki fashion, he does not. He ends up going to like the reception area or the office. Yeah, and we see Casey again. Casey is, by the way, I need to learn the name of the actor, but that actor is an awesome actor. I've seen him across many movies over many years. That's why I'm very proud of him and very happy to see him in this, because I saw him all the way in The Office, like in the 2010s. The episode where Michael gets lost with Jim and he has to walk back home, and he's the gas station guy. And then I've seen him in Clint Eastwood's movie The Mule. And now we get to see the actor that plays Casey in Marvel Loki. But with that said, he's just having this awesome back and forth.
I love if anything happens.
I love these little characters. I love the Darcys and what's the FBI agent from WandaVision? Jimmy Woo. I like those characters because those characters are us. They're giving us a window through there. I love that. I love those.
Except we know what a fish is.
Right.
Okay, that might be the funniest part of the thing is where he's threatening Casey, and he says something like, "I'll fry you like a fish" or something.
I will gut you like a fish.
I will gut you like a fish. He's like, "Okay, but what's a fish?
What is that?"
I just want to know before I agree to anything.
Face. He goes. I have the GIF right here, but he goes from like really mean and really intense to just, how do you not know what a fish is? Right?
Oh my god.
And then the line right after, he's like, well, I've spent my entire life behind a desk. And he's like, death, Casey, very painful death.
Oh my god. Just even like hearing that, imagining that is so funny. Jordan says, imagine this: Casey, Korg, Jimmy Woo road trip movie, MCU. Do it.
Torres has to join. Torres has to join. Who? Torres from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Got you. Yes.
Oh yeah,
he
Torres
has to join. But yes.
So everybody that is joining us right now, welcome to Filmtopia. On the screen we have Lizzie and we have Anthony and we have myself. My name is Ricky, and if you love films, if you love talking about films, watching films, discussing films, or if you like making films, learning how to make films, this is the place for you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for this incredible ride we're about to go on. Right now we are recapping Loki. We are almost done, and then after that, in the chat, I will be putting a link so you guys can come on the show. And we're getting closer to the end. We see Loki finally talk with we see that exchange between Casey and him, and then Casey opens or someone opens the drawer. And that was like one of the shell shock moments of the entire episode, because again, they open the drawer and you just see a bunch of Infinity Stones, some duplicated, some more. Yeah, and
just
and
paperweight.
I think he opened it because the Tesseract was in there, right? Yes. So that's where he just threw the Tesseract that they confiscated from Loki. And essentially, we're seeing this drawer full of Infinity Stones, the most powerful items in the universe, are just in this drawer.
Reduced to meaningless trinkets.
Reduced to meaningless, exactly. And so, as I was saying earlier, I thought this point in the show was a moment where everybody just kind of gasps. And everybody is able to interpret it or feel the way they want to feel about it. But I'll tell you how I felt. The way I felt was, to me, it really highlighted that we are in we are out of the Infinity Saga. The Infinity Saga being phases 1, 2, and 3, from Iron Man 1 to Endgame.
I like that. See, I like that. I love this show. I never thought about that. In other words, we're moving on from that. That was that. Now let's move.
And so,
let's keep moving.
But on top of that, to really close that chapter, I just felt the levity and the humor they brought to that scene made it so it wasn't disrespecting the Infinity Saga. It made it seem like, hey guys, we had a great time from Iron Man all the way to Endgame, and that is sealed package. It is forever how it is. Don't worry, no matter what we do from here on out, it's not going to affect it. Let's move on and take, phase 4 and start worrying about Avengers 5, Avengers 6, Avengers 7.
I thought it was also kind of Marvel poking fun at themselves, because for like
great
10
Marvel fashion.
solid years, we've been using these Infinity Stones as like the big bad, right? And now, they're paperweights.
Yeah.
We have a desk drawer full of them, right?
That's
and my initial response was like, are you kidding me? Right? But then it's just kind of, one of those things. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, actually that makes sense.
And you know what's funny too? So are you kidding me? To me, at least I'm speaking for myself right now, that are you kidding me for me immediately, really quickly turned into laughter and humor.
Yep.
And again, that was because of Casey and because of Loki and what they're doing when they're kind of going over that. It really, really, again, it didn't off-put me, and that's what I'm really excited about.
It hit all the correct emotional beats that it needed to.
Exactly. Billy248 says, I feel like Casey might discover something that he's not supposed to and be like a villain. I feel like Marvel would do that. I don't know.
No!
I hope not. I hope Casey stays pure. I hope he doesn't get zapped.
If anything happens to Casey.
You know what?
Anything.
Guys, what I think it might happen, or what I feel like could happen is, what if he got accidentally zapped? You know how that one Goldman Sachs guy
almost happened. It almost happened. She just missed him.
Maybe that's why I'm saying that. Oh, okay. I forgot about that moment. But yes, that's probably why. I just feel like he's one of those characters where he's going to get accidentally like zapped or something.
No. Like Casey.
I'll cry. Genuinely.
Ben says,
and then you're going to have to deal with that. You got zapped.
R.I.P. Casey's car. Yeah, Jordy couldn't wrap her head around it. Juan Villalobos says, I was into the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but Loki seems much better. Yes, as I will say this throughout the entire episodes, throughout all these things, is that Loki is the best of both worlds, the best of WandaVision and the best of Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming together.
Rick, I know
there's a reason why it's their summer blockbuster.
Rick, I know we're working, but can I shout out somebody real quick?
Dude, this is not work if we're having fun.
No, I know, but I'm trying to keep it professional. Shout out to my girlfriend who just texted me that she sees me right now online. Hey, boo.
Hey.
Hi, Gosha.
Gosha. Nice. Welcome. Thank you for being here. The man.
Lizzie. That's Lizzie right there.
Yeah, Lizzie's right there.
I mentioned you yesterday, Liz.
Yes, no, but I just want to say we're honored to have Anthony. Thank you for allowing us his time. I know we maybe take him away for a little, but hey,
he's cool like that.
It's so cool the energy he brings. I want to make sure that you understand this man is. Honestly, I said this last night. You are like the heartbeat of Filmtopia. So thank you, Anthony.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
And everybody loves you, man. That's the coolest part.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. Love you right back too.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, back to the recap.
Yes, enough of this love.
Oh man. Okay, so then we get to the point where, so then he kind of has this breakdown, or he goes from, now he's getting chased. He's getting chased by the TVA. Right. And then he somehow figures out how to like disarm one of the Minute Women. Mm-hmm. And one of the Minute Women, he was actually able to like put the
restraining,
he
neck
gets
on her.
his collar off of
restraining,
himself and puts it onto her.
Right.
Exactly. So that's how he's able to buy time. And then we roll into this next thing, which is Loki back in the same room where he was being interrogated, but he's alone. And like I'm already getting chills. Like,
scene that made me tear up.
This is where the waterworks begin.
Yeah,
exactly. This is where the waterworks begin. We get to see this holographic like recap of time, or this holographic like recap of Loki's life in all versions of timelines. You know, basically his fate. And I don't know. For me, I mean, on top of the obvious sadness, I thought the subtle and underlying sadness was really sad and really personable / relatable. I saw a lot of like, I wouldn't say myself, but I saw a lot of things that I've like felt in the past through Loki's eyes, through Loki seeing like him feeling defeated, you know, watching, you know, the ups and downs of where, you know, who he becomes, what he is. And it really, really broke, I think, all of us the moment, you know, and the craziest part is it broke us and we didn't even see what happened on screen. It was just severely implied, and we saw it all through Loki's face, all through his eyes. It's the moment, you know,
I'm gonna cut you off really quick before we get too far. But you were saying, you know, you didn't necessarily like relate to what was happening, but you related to the emotions. We do that a lot in acting. You don't have to relate to the actual events. You just have to relate to the emotions behind the events. And again, that's another thing that Loki is doing really, really well, is they're hitting all the emotional beats.
Yeah.
I thought,
go ahead.
I thought, sorry about that. I thought that prior to him getting back to that room, I think what it stoked his curiosity was when Mobius showed him, you're responsible for why your mom is dead. You sent the Dark Elves to the wrong room. You told them, I think he said, you might want to make a left or something like that.
Yeah, you might want to go to the left.
Yeah, and that actually took the Dark Elves into Frigga's space, which is why she wound up dying. And he showed her that you're the reason why your mom died. And he's like, this doesn't even happen yet. No, it did. And it's going to happen over and over and over again because of what you've done. And so that sparked his interest. When he got back to the room, he wanted to let me keep going and let's see what's going on here. And then, as you said, he got to see his evolution. He even got to see, just like in Guardians of the Galaxy with the two sisters, me and Thor, we actually are kind of cool here. We became cool.
Yeah.
It's just like in Guardians of the Galaxy when Gamora asked why I keep forgetting names today. When Gamora asked the sister, the robot, what happens to us in the future?
Nebula.
Thank you, Nebula. What happens that she goes, we actually become friends. We become sisters. And it's that same, like you're saying, Lizzie, those emotional beats, right? Sisterhood, brotherhood. And when he sees that, he goes, man, me and Thor actually was kind of cool. And then he sees Thanos kill his future self. And he's like, whoa. And there's that moment.
Again, he just came from working for Thanos.
Right.
Too. We have to remember that.
Wow, the guy I'm working for is going to kill me. And that's gotta hit you hard, right? Because I believe Thanos is the one who gave him the scepter, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Thanos gave him that scepter to use to command the Chitauri, right?
Yep.
So and to know, and mind you, that just happened. It had
literally minutes ago.
Right.
Minutes ago.
Right. It's like, man, this guy's gonna kill me. He's gonna choke me to death. And you even hear the neck break off camera. You hear the crack.
Oh man.
And I'm like,
that hurt me.
Yeah, I thought the scene where obviously he's seeing his mother die, and then we get to see his face, right? We saw a face of just complete defeat, complete just heartbreak. And then they do the same thing for the snapping of the neck. Instead of choosing to show the screen, they chose to show how Loki was reacting to that.
Yeah.
And that's the moment, like, Loki said, okay, I think enough of this. Like, this is, you know, where one of those things where you don't think it could get worse, but it does. And so we see him, I think, in that moment of snapping, that's where it goes from really sad to like really like some could say mad or some could say mad, but I would say
inspired.
He looked determined. He looked inspired and determined.
The word determined shows up a lot in my notes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so because of that, that's how we get Loki sitting on the stairs, or like he was sitting right when Mobius came back in. Like he looked like he was ready to be arrested again, or he looked like he wasn't going to resist or anything. He knew when Mobius came back into that room, he was going to have a real conversation and tell him straight up what the heck is up. And
I
literally,
got a sense of resignation.
Exactly, that resignation allowed him to, as immediately as soon as Mobius walks in, Owen Wilson's character walks in, he just answered the question Owen Wilson tried asking him for.
I got all the feels right now. Oh my God. And I can't wait to watch this with my girl because she loves Tom Hiddleston.
Oh,
she hasn't had a chance to see it yet. Baby, don't listen if you're watching right now. Cover your ears.
Oh, seriously, like I'm really excited to hear what she has to say about it, because I'm always really excited to hear what everybody has to say about the episodes. And this is one of those episodes that there seems to be a general consensus, and that's rare. So enjoy it. That's my thing. Every Filmtopians out there, if you're listening, enjoy this moment of unison. Enjoy this moment of being able to like really deep dive on this and stay on, the same path, because that's rare in movies and just in art. It's really rare.
Jinx it.
I can't wait for the shenanigans. I'm stealing your word, Lizzie. I'm waiting for the shenanigans next Wednesday.
That's my word. Excuse me.
Ben says Loki's reaction in that scene while he was looking at the timeline was so good. There was definitely the awe and realization, but I also sensed that his wheels were turning perfect. Exactly. Literally, exactly. Ben's on one. Let's go. Lord Basty's in the chat. Philippines, we out here. Let's go. Jacob McDonald is also here. Let's go. Pyro Hell says it's curious that there's only one Soul Stone, whereas the other ones have at least one copy. Yeah, that is. It's funny. Just really quick on that. I think that was a beautiful touch, or like a little beautiful script management, which, because if there was more than one Soul Stone, there would have to be a lot of explaining to do. And I think with having just one Soul Stone, because we understand how you acquire the Soul Stone, so seeing just one in there kind of like doesn't make it too much more bigger than it has.
Can I ask you guys and ask the people in the chat, because I've now watched it twice. I don't recall. Was the Time Stone in that drawer? I don't recall seeing green.
Really?
The Time Stone? Yeah, he picks up the Time Stone. Loki picks up a green Time Stone from the drawer.
I have to go back.
And I'm convinced that's gonna come back. He picks it up.
Multiverse of Madness, baby.
He picks up the green Time Stone, and it's Loki, so I'm assuming he just kind of stuck it in his pocket.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that there is like this big giant board somewhere in Marvel, and they've got like, okay, over here we've got this, or are they kind of doing some of this stuff on the fly? Like, man, we kind of messed this up.
You mean you don't have a giant board of how Marvel connects on your wall?
No.
Hey, I remember once the great and wise Anthony told me to get a board and to write on it.
Get a dream board. That's right.
Yep, the dream board. And so I would be remiss if Marvel didn't have that. And this, guys, and I'm gonna say something, maybe something spicy, but I just really hope Star Wars can do the same. But with that said, let's just say Marvel, please continue to have your board, your dream board. Please continue to have this all mapped out 5 years ahead.
I believe Feige isn't Feige heading to the Star Wars family?
He's heading in a producerial role, so essentially he's going to showrun one project. I don't know which one, whether it's a movie or whether it's I think it's a movie. It's for sure a movie.
Okay.
But yeah, he doesn't want to step on anybody's toes over there. He said that. He's come out and said that. And if anybody does take up the mantle over there, post post anybody there, it's most likely going to be Dave Filoni. So as far as Kevin Feige making that, I guess you can call it a horizontal move. It'd be from Marvel to Star Wars. I don't think that would happen. I see Kevin Feige doing a vertical move and being the head of Walt Disney Pictures.
Got it. Filoni's killing it, by the way, with Bad Batch and
he's doing so well with everything.
He's killing it. Yeah, he's killing it.
He's
creative. Yep. Executive, creative executive over there. So shout out to Dave Filoni. But yes, I want to say really quick. Let's see. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Jaden K. Shout out to Millie Cham. Millie Cham was here last night as well.
She Loki.
She Loki. Lord says,
I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm not familiar with that one.
I think she was saying or one thing is
Lady
I think
Loki,
responding to people.
You talking about at the end? You talking about the end of the episode?
Yeah. So that actually brings us to a perfect point. Let's finish this recap. So we are at the point where now Loki is disarming himself, and we get these awesome lines that I really thought were really poignant. And it was where he's sitting on the steps talking, basically answering all the questions Mobius had, and he says the reason why he is the way he is he doesn't like to hurt people. No, that's not in his nature. That's not what he likes to do. He does not like to hurt people. He said it's really all part of an illusion. It's the cruel, elaborate trick conjured by the weak to inspire fear.
Wow.
And then right after that, Mobius goes on, a desperate play for control. You do know yourself.
Wow. Talk about apropos. Wow.
Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah, no. Very
that's deep.
That last night's episode was very packed, or very weighted. It was very voluminous. There was so much to it. And
hold on. You bringing out the big words. I get my dictionary. Hold on.
I'll tell you guys, if for everybody in here right now, you guys get a little Filmtopia gem. So if I ever do a giveaway or something, this might be a question, but the question will be something like, what word did Ricky misuse?
Was
for,
it A,
like,
glorious? B,
yeah. So
shenanigans.
Just so you guys know, the answer is I used to use, and I'm talking for like months, I used to use the word levity wrong. I to this day, from what I researched, right, levity is, you know what? I'm not gonna embarrass myself anymore. So how about this, guys? This is what you guys get. You guys get you guys get this. Hold on. Levity meaning.
Oh no.
I thought you knew.
No. I did know, but I didn't want to mess it up right now. So
okay.
Humor or frivolity, especially the treatment of a serious matter with humor or in a manner lacking due respect. So that is the word. But the reason why it's important, everybody, is because it could be part of a giveaway one day. I'm just saying.
Pay attention. Take your notes, kids.
There's going to be that's what it is. It's an Easter egg. A lot of Easter eggs will be spread across all of our videos, all of our content. So, make sure you're listening closely.
Shenanigans.
But to wrap up the episode, we get basically Owen Wilson to recruit Loki into whatever he wants to recruit him into, and that is
I can't offer you salvation or whatever it was.
To help him have Loki help Mobius capturing a variant that is going around killing.
Loki is going to help Owen Wilson catch Loki.
There we go. And the big reveal is that variant is Loki. So the Loki we saw throughout the entire episode will be a good Loki per se, and then the one they're trying to capture is a bad Loki per se. And then we get, it felt like a post-credit scene, but it was just the end of the episode, and we see the Minutemen going to 1850s, in the 1850s.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt very WandaVision witch vibes, Scarlet Salem Witch Trials type of vibe. Yep.
Yeah.
And we see this cloaked figure. I actually referenced it during the live that it felt very Star Warsy with like I felt like the Minutemen were very stormtroopery, except they don't miss. And then we've got a cloaked figure. I swear to you, like it looked like Luke Skywalker in the most recent version we've seen him in. And I was just really excited. I was just waiting for like to see a glove and then to see a green lightsaber. And then boom, the Star Wars and Marvel crossover begins.
Instead it's a lantern.
Yeah.
And then it drops. And then fire. Everything is on fire.
Yeah.
Yep. And then it just cuts to the credits, and we were all in just shock and in awe and just super, super
and left wanting more.
Way more.
So much more.
Adrian actually said something like, yeah, we've got 5 or 6 more episodes to go. And when he said that, I was like, no, like I don't want there to be an end. I don't want to.
Please give me. I would watch Loki watching paint dry at this point.
And by the way, that's painted by Lizzie. Because someone told her.
Obviously, yes. The green wall has a story behind it.
Oh, we got to hear that someday.
Which we'll get into one day.
We'll get into it. Don't worry about it.
She'll have her own video on it.
All my shenanigans.
So with that said, I want to open up the floor now. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat. And
I'm actually going to tap out and let someone else jump on, as I always said.
Okay.
People don't need to see my face for this long. It's traumatizing.
Don't be mean to yourself like that.
But I'm gonna tap out, and I'll stay in the chat and try to keep the conversation going. So I'm still here. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. And if like I said, man,
I'll jump back in later.
Okay.
No, for sure. Just give some other
people. Good luck
getting
rid of me. I have a lot to say.
Oh yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here for sure.
Perfect. So everybody in the chat, thank you, Anthony. We'll see you in a bit. As far as the chat, if anybody feels like coming on and discussing this with us, getting your thoughts on the matter, definitely hit that link. It's a StreamYard link, and it's super easy to use. Just make sure, all I ask is that you have your camera turned on, because I need you guys to have your camera turned on just to verify there's somebody there and to verify that we're all on the same page. And again, if you decide to come on, the rules are really, really simple. Make sure to just be a good person, a good human, and we'll be good to go. So
I see y'all talking about me in the chat.
You know what? I see some really nice things about Lizzie. Yes, that's awesome. Lizzie is awesome, and Lizzie deserves all the praise, all the flowers, all the kudos. But Lizzie, until someone gets on here with us, maybe you want to run through some points in your notes that you for sure want to get across.
Yeah. Billy _24_8 said Lizzie's treating Loki series like her homework. Yes, I am. I went through and one of my major things is I was a theater teacher. And we analyzed characters all the time. So that's like one of my favorite things to do. So I sat down, and in this particular episode, just kind of sat down and looked at Loki's character and looked at who he's been in the MCU in the past, and then who he is now. So, yeah, because there's a lot. So choices are a big thing in this. You know, we see the word choices comes up again and again and again and again.
And a lot of Marvel shows too.
In a lot of Marvel shows, yeah, there's always
every single one so far. Yep.
You have a choice to make. You get to make a choice. And then we get the timekeepers who kind of come on the scene, and now it's revealed that your choices don't mean anything. That's basically what Loki's been told is, hey, it doesn't matter because there's these people calling the shots, and they get what they want no matter what. Which I think not quite. But so Loki, in essence, is a simple villain at first. Don't get mad at me. He's insecure. He's desperate to be venerated as a god. He's got abandonment issues. He's trying to use his power of intellect, which again we'll get into, to feel superior. And we understand, why he is the way he is. We understand what he's doing. We understand he's a very simple textbook villain. Yeah. But then now in Loki, we get to kind of go through. We saw him from an outside perspective, but now we get to see how does he see himself? What's the narrative going on inside his head? What's the story that he's telling himself? What's his end goal? Mobius really gets into him on that. Like, okay, so like you want to rule Midgard, but like, then what?
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do after that, dude? Like, king of space or whatever?
Calling him out on his bluff, or like trying to get Loki to dig in. It's like one of those things. Oh, a perfect example that I thought was very apropos. That was, if anybody here has seen Good Will Hunting, if you have not seen it, there's this one scene that's very, very super famous. And it's where this guy, he goes to Harvard, and they're at this bar near Harvard. There's this guy that decides to come over and kind of like embarrass non-locals, and that's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. They're the main stars of the movie, and they're not from Harvard. They're from somewhere else in Boston, but they just came for that night to hang out at this bar. And essentially this guy comes over and tries to like embarrass them by being smarter. But little did he freaking know that Matt Damon was a living genius, like a genius that seriously. So this guy was textbook smart, the guy that made fun of them came off as though he was like textbook smart, but in reality he was just ripping things off of people. Like he was just like quoting people. He wasn't really coming up with his own things. And then Matt Damon comes around and like calls him on his stuff, tells him where he quoted that from, what page and what book. And sorry to take away from you, Lizzie, but
no, go for
I just
it.
wanted to say that felt like very what was going on between Owen Wilson and Loki. Like Loki was that guy that, walks around like he's hot stuff, but Mobius is like, okay, show us.
Well, yeah, prove it. Yeah. People don't ask Loki to prove it very often.
There you go. Exactly.
So,
and I see you, Jordan, by the way. I'm going to get you on really in a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of it, Loki, he's told basically you're around to cause pain and suffering, and through that further other people's stories and make them into the best that they can be. But Loki kind of, after seeing all of the things that he sees, is just kind of like, no, it's about me now. I'm the main character now. Which I think is really it's fun. And then one thing is Owen Wilson, I call him Owen Wilson. Mobius asks him, do you enjoy hurting people? Not did you, but do you? Present tense. Let's talk about this because it's still happening. You're still here. You still exist.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And that's a perfect segue, really quick. A perfect segue to two things. One, we're going to go ahead and bring Jordan on. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Jordan.
Hello. Oh my God.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Jordan. Oh good to have you back.
I'm good. How are you?
Nice. Very good. Very good. We're out here. We're putting in this work, talking about things we love. What more could you ask for?
Yep.
So, but I wanted to say something. We left off with what Lizzie was saying right now, which was about it's actually something Ben put in the chat that I think we can maybe all start to see if we can answer. And Ben says, They made a point of having Loki talking about how he doesn't want to hurt people, but that he had to. Is that a moral adjustment or is that foreshadowing? And I think
it's
that's a great
foreshadowing.
question. Foreshadowing. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, I think Loki is his whole arc. He goes from kind of an amoral trickster to like genuine villain / monster, and then kind of a reluctant, repentant criminal type deal, and then into sneaky antihero, and then his version, his best version of a hero. But throughout all of that, there's the thread of he is the trickster god.
Yeah.
So his morals, he has them. They're a little bit to the left. And I don't, again, he's the trickster god. He's not the evil god.
Yeah. You know those like neutral good charts that they have, like true neutral, chaotic, like he's just pure like neutral. Like he'll just go wherever he pleases, whatever feels good today. It's a Tuesday, I guess I'll do the right thing.
You know what I thought right now when you said that chart? I was thinking of the one in the doctor's office where it says, show me how much pain. Is it no pain, super hard, severe pain, and then in the middle is like this happy face?
Marvel just decided to go super severe. Phase 4 is everyone needs therapy.
No, but like I said, I think it's funny. Before Ben and Lizzie posed these types of questions, I think I was leaning on the moral adjustment side. That's what I interpreted it as. Now, but hearing everything you guys are saying, I think I'm leaning more towards the foreshadowing. That's what the show is for then. So really quick, I want to shout out the chat. Ben says he can't make it tonight, but he's loving the discussion, which is perfect. We're here. This is what we're here for your guys' eyes and ears. And this part is just a bonus. Jaden K says, be a good person, and that's all. Yes, thank you, Jaden. Billy24 says, what if you don't want to show your face on the internet? So the only thing is I just need these more than anything, it's these initial meetings, right? It's more of a verification process. I want to make sure that, it's just a verification thing. Later on, like let's say next week's stream, you come on again, Billy248. I wouldn't require you to show your face. I would be cool with you having it like, let me see, like this. And then when you talk, you see like some things around your avatar. So, but for each time someone initially comes on, I do require the video. So, with that said, let's keep going to the chat. If Pyro Hell says, I think Ricardo, Lizzie, and Anthony are the real MVPs. Thank you, Pyro. We appreciate that. The beauty is that I think Anthony said something earlier about work. Well, regardless if this is work or if it's not work, the beauty is that we're having fun doing it. And that's why me, Anthony, and Lizzie and Jordan right now are just vibing. And that's what I want Filmtopia to be about. Jaden has something to say, and that's to Ben Tolson's question that he posed. Jaden saying, I think more moral adjustment as Loki sees his future in all his character development, and it causes him to really think through his life more. He sees both his parents die. So that's basically how I walked away from it, right? That was the same vein I was in. I was going down that moral adjustment avenue, but I think it's foreshadowing because from what we've seen in the trailers, and I'm kind of using Blue's Clues here, but I've seen through the trailers that, dude, Loki is not to be trusted yet. Loki is not to be trusted, and there's a lot of work that has to go into Loki for this to be a long-term actual adjustment. So,
and on the flip side of that, sorry.
No, you can go.
Okay, the wording that they use, again, is mostly present tense, and it's not like, did you enjoy hurting people and yada, yada. It's, do you enjoy hurting people? Yeah. which I think it can also be, you know, in the past, did you? Probably not. And do you now? Definitely not. Because, and then they flipped to, I did it because I had to, past tense, had to. So I think it's very much linear.
Gotcha. It's funny watching the file and watching Loki watch himself, you know, progress through this next stage of his life. Because the Loki we're getting is 2012, like, let me mess some stuff up, let's have fun Loki. But it's like the Loki we get in Infinity War is like years upon years of character development and build and condensed in 3 minutes that he saw. He's not that Loki from Infinity War because he hasn't gone through, you know, these stages yet. So I'm like, he definitely could be sitting here like, yeah, oh my God, I'm so sad. Whatever. Like, I guess I'll help. And then he's just going to turn on them later. I love that theory. That
I think the immediate reaction that he has, you know, the sadness, I think that's real.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But then after that initial shock, kind of like us, after the initial shock of the episode, we come back and talk about it. He's planning something.
Of course.
There's no way he's not. It's Loki.
Yeah, because backup plans have backup plans.
That's true. Really quick, Ben says the last scene in the screening room, he feels trapped by his own choices, which he perceived as freedom, but was actually a predetermined path being imposed on him. So that's what he did to others. Oh wow, dude, Ben's got the air horns. Yeah, no, that's some deep stuff.
Because it's funny, I think Loki sees what Thanos does to him, and he's like, "Wow, like Thanos is gonna kill me. Like, this is crazy." But I don't think Loki's like, you know what? Let me do the right thing and help take down Thanos. I think this Loki is like, all right, so how do I avoid that but still get what I need to get in the long run? I don't think it's, you know, let me come to the good side. It's, oh, okay, so he tries to kill me. How do I, you know, finesse my way out of this? Like,
he still very much has his own best interest at heart.
Of course.
Yep. That's that's the best way to put it, is that he's being dictated right now with his own best interest are dictating what he's kind of going to do. But I think there was that moral compass definitely got repositioned though. So it accelerated, basically it accelerated from Avengers 1 to Avengers Infinity War. All that character development, I feel like that little moment of seeing his life flash before his own eyes, I think was the just accelerator to get to maybe that emotional Loki. Because even when we see a Loki in Infinity War, he's still mischievous. Like, he's still, he's got his own self-interest at heart, because right before that in Thor Ragnarok, he takes the Tesseract. So that's supposed to be when Thanos meets up with them. That's supposed to be like a few minutes after he just took the Tesseract. So he's still someone that has his self-interest at heart.
And something we've seen time and time and time again with Loki is he flocks to the most powerful being or corporation or whatever near him. Yes. He followed Odin because he kind of had to. And then, you know, he fell in line with the Frost Giants, but then he was like, you guys aren't actually that powerful, never mind. Right? And then he goes to Thanos, and then he goes to the Grand Master, and then finally in Infinity War he's like, you know, I'm done with that. And then we all saw what happened. But yeah, so he goes and he finds the most powerful person and aligns himself with them. So I think a lot of this is, okay, so Infinity Stones don't work in the TVA. They're obviously powerful. I'm going to chill with them for a little bit. It seems like the safest place to be.
And we got that, if I'm not mistaken, we got that verbal cue from it. Like, we got that dialogue from him, right? He admitted. He admitted, I forgot the quote, but he admitted that
it's all useless TVA, or something.
Yeah, he was like, the TVA, like,
the most powerful.
You guys are like it. Yeah. You guys are the Michael Jordan of freaking.
Because Loki will bluff and bluff and bluff and use pretty words, but he's afraid of dying ultimately.
He's
and
Leonardo
so whatever he
DiCaprio,
can do,
if you can, he really is. He was. You said that yesterday, and I was like, this is Twilight Zone meets and Close Encounters of the Third Kind meets Catch Me If You Can. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, Ben says in the comments, is this the greatest power in the universe?
That's the line right there. The line is this the greatest power in the universe? That little light bulb moment, like holy cannoli, guacamole. And then that's where the scene switches, and now he's in that space where Mobius had him at the beginning. And you see him just on the stairs sitting, relinquished, ready to like to start working with him. So yeah, thanks for that, Ben. But I did want to say shout out to Reddick, because Reddick also, I believe Reddick was the one that mentioned Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
And so shout out. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that like saw that. Like the only one that kind of like,
I was like, yes, exactly.
Yep,
exactly.
100%.
Jaden K said, I'm assuming that you all saw the scroll in the TVA headquarters, so I'm wondering what they were there for. I don't know what they were there for. For me, you know what it is? Marvel is just getting us ready for something like for something that has to do with scrolls, obviously, but they're just putting them all over MCU projects, prepping us. Like they're just
because they've got Secret Invasion coming.
Yeah, so Secret Invasion, and so that's what we're gearing up towards. So that's what I think it's there for. It's nothing more than just a reminder that, hey, scrolls still exist.
Something's coming.
It's like making a cake. Like, I'm gonna drop some eggs here, some flour here, sugar. Let's get it going. Let's sprinkle it. We'll get there. Yep. Don't forget about this. You'll see.
Mad Cake says, shout out to Madison. I feel like he's going to try any way he can to escape his death, because he knows as long as he's not back in the real timeline, he's messing up his future. So again, I'm super pumped to see. Again, it goes back to, look, we're having this discussion tonight, right? The 24 hours later, roughly, because this is that type of show. This is that type of show to like actually dive into all this stuff, dive into theories, theorizing, speculation. One thing about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier that I felt wasn't really primed for this, because WandaVision, that's like the golden standard. But Falcon and Winter Soldier was just a complete different, it was like a 180, which was nice to see, like that 180 shift, tonal shift, exactly. And then now we're getting that tonal shift back to speculation season. And I'm super pumped about that. Ben says, go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
Oh, no. I was kind of, my favorite part of the episode was, which I found out the woman who voices Timmy Turner is the woman Miss Minutes. I forget her name. I think it's Tara Joy. I think her name is. And I loved her little country accent, like, welcome, blah, blah, blah.
Welcome to the TVA.
Like, I know, like, it's absolutely crazy. But, they really were like, if they could put Multiverse of Madness, in blinking lights on the TV as they were speaking, I'm like, yeah, we know what's coming. It's like, all the universes got messed up. Like, we know. Like,
they literally, like, it was so cool to, like, see them embrace whether it's speculation or they just like straight up showed us. Yes, we've already told you guys the title of Doctor Strange's second movie, Multiverse of Madness, and then they go ahead and put it in writing, and we visually see
the blinking lights.
The word
literally multiverse, it's coming. Yeah. But they said in the video that there was some sort of multiverse issue before. I'm like, what happened before?
That's how the TVA was formed. Or that's how that they created one timeline, right? That because of the multiverse,
the story right there,
dude. Like
I'm calling BS on, but
all I know is like whatever the Multiverse of Madness is for Doctor Strange, the movie coming out hopefully next March. Please give me it all. That and No Way Home, Jeez Louise, Sun-Dried Capris. Like, I am really, really excited. Oh my God, if we're talking about speculation, if we're talking about being able to every day chat about this, wait till those seasons. I did want to bring up something Ben said. Ben said, from a writing perspective, huge hats off to the writers for balancing the character, the audience, because or the audience that knows today who he was in 2012. That is a great point that I think was awesome about episode 1 was balancing people that just joined the MCU or people that just joined in on the new Marvel shows, and then people that know Loki from all the other movies, know his character arc, and just know all of the MCU. We all got like a win last night.
Tom Hiddleston's great for that though, because it's like this probably got filmed in 2019, 2020, and you jump back to 2012, and it's like, I'm back, it's 2012. But like he filmed this all the way back in like 2011, and it's like you didn't miss a beat, even though these were like filmed like 8 years apart. I'm like, this is crazy.
So he didn't miss a beat. He didn't look any different.
No.
I was just like, dude, where's the secret fountain or the sauce?
What is in his water?
I know.
Next time on Filmtopia.
Whatever Paul Rudd's drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Mad Cake says, I still think he's going to be conflicted with himself, though, wanting to do something good, but overall, he will think about himself and how it benefits him. Yeah. So it's right in line with Loki. Ben says, total side note, the early era electronics vibe reminded me a lot of Umbrella Academy. Wondering what other examples there are of that vibe being used for the bureaucratic entities. I know what Umbrella Academy is. I haven't watched it per se.
They play around a lot with time jumping too.
Yeah. Got you. So, yeah, like I said, this show has so many influences across many, many different artworks, pieces of art, and I'm really digging it. Kate, I can't remember her last name, but I know she's the director of the series, and she's doing a fantastic job. The writer, Wardrip, I can't remember his name either, but a fantastic writer that I believe wrote. I don't want to spread misinformation here, but I think he wrote Multiverse of Madness. But hey, I don't know. We're gonna have to look that up. Fact check. So yeah, I'm talking about the writer and the director of the Loki series. They are amazing.
Did you guys catch that Variety interview that Tom Hiddleston did with Elizabeth Olsen, Anthony Mackie, Paul Bettany?
I didn't see it, but I did see that they were all on one panel.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I guess Hiddleston said that when he came in and they asked him to do the series, he had like a whiteboard and actually talked about his character's progression and why this was here and why that was there for the writer and director. Like basically walks them through his character. I was like,
yes, a great subtle surprise last night, and I said it too, was when we were going through the credits, I thought something amazing was the fact that Tom Hiddleston was credited as an executive producer, and now that you say that, Jordan, that's exactly why.
Yeah,
because that is what a producer does. They give their input, and they kind of steer the direction of how it's going to go. So yeah, really quick. Hold on. Jaden says, absolutely to Billy. As we saw in Far From Home, when Nick was seen to be a Skrull, and it was more than likely that, I don't know, Black Widow was a Skrull. I don't know about Black Widow being a Skrull, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Billy says, everybody is talking about Kang, but what about the other two timekeepers? We don't have much info about them. Man, that is you just threw another variant timeline in my head. I'm
still thinking they don't actually exist.
Yeah, so there's different variant timelines for all those like theories. Oh man, that's something I'm actually gonna start thinking of though. That's a great point. Ulysses says, this man don't stop. Keep the grind up, Captain Filmtopia. Thank you. Thank you, Ulysses. That is what we're gonna do. Mad Cake says Lady Loki for sure has got to be the person in the row, though. Yeah. I mean, dude. Oh man, this is gonna be so sick. Let's see. Ben says the choice versus determinism thing is super fascinating to me. Hoping they dig into that a bit more. Dude, that is, I love that.
Every other word.
I think Lizzie, go for it.
What?
Go. If you want to say
no,
anything
I was just
about
saying
that.
Choice versus determined. Yeah,
That's and it's crazy, like, to think a Marvel show is heading, like, is doing something like this, is having us ponder questions like these, right? Like, that's pretty cool. That the evolution of superhero movies and just the superhero genre has evolved immensely for us to be throwing in freaking discussions like that.
Yeah, speaking of questions that it's making us ask and answer, one of the main things that this episode in particular, and I think what the entire show overall is going to really kind of ask is, who does the villain, Loki, become? When you take away their abilities, when you force them to confront themselves, like, what kind of answers are they going to give? Because in Loki's case, it was, no, I don't enjoy hurting people, but I did it because that's my role. That's kind of what I'm here to do. He knows and admits actively that he knows he's weak in the grand scheme of things. He knows that, overall he doesn't have a whole lot of power, but he knows how to use what power he does have. Which I think is really, it's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
But
what'd you say earlier? You said it was a cool line. You said Loki's good at being.
He's bad at being smart, but he's good at being sneaky.
There you go. Yeah. And I really like that line though, because that's Loki right there. Like, that is what you're saying. He's you just said it right now. You said he's good at using what he has, and what he has is the sneakiness, the mischievous stuff nature to him. So obviously this show's going to flex and show exactly how he can further do that, or 180 that and just completely halt that part of his character, like his character arc for him. And maybe because why I felt Loki through, like, the screen was because it was like that old tale, that tall tale of, or that timeless tale of, and I guess I've experienced it, where you're one way and you get tired of being that one way, and you have a choice to either continue that path or do something about it. And something I brought up last night, which was like, just starting to work out at the beginning of the year, I could have easily just, for whatever reasons, whether it was because of circumstances or because of just my choice, like in my head, I said, you know what, let's just do this, let's try it. And it's led to me feeling different, and just being able to see change within somebody is hopeful, it's inspiring. And I think that's what I was trying to say to Anthony and you earlier when I brought something like this similar up, which is I felt something watching Loki. I felt something watching him feel like a failure, but I'm expecting that redemption, and I'm expecting for him to rise up, because that's how I want to feel. That's what I want to believe. I want to believe that he can rise out of this, that he can become better. So with that said, really quick, so guys, everybody in the chat, I just want to say this panel will be soon wrapping, so I'm going to go ahead and post the link one last time. If there's anybody else that wants to come on, Anthony, if you're still there, my man, definitely feel free to hop back on, because just want to hear your last few thoughts, and then obviously after that we'll probably come to a close. But yeah, so the link should be in the chat. Zaku asked, just watch Loki. How do you like it? Well, I'm glad you watched it. You are now part of the Watched It Club. And as you can tell, I think it's universally loved and adored. So many great things about it. No matter which way you poke at it, no matter which way you're coming from, there's just positive stuff coming out of it, reactions. And and so I think that's awesome, and I tell this to everybody to enjoy this moment that everybody's still on the same page with Loki, because that's rare, guys. It's rare.
It's gonna change
for now.
Yeah, right. It's rare to have a unanimous sort of feeling towards something in art. Obviously, art is subjective, but when basically everybody's subjectively feeling the same way, that's pretty awesome. So
I have one last little chunk of my analysis that might upend that.
Throw that or give that to us right now.
Okay.
Upend
don't
us.
Come at me. But throughout the MCU, Loki is a loser.
Mobius literally
he's an actor. He's a wimp. He is so unfortunately and ridiculously aware that he is a loser. He is the punching bag of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
He's not like some mastermind or great Machiavellian manipulator. He's not great. He doesn't know. He's not pulling all the strings like he wants you to think he is. He's amazing at making you think that he is, but he's not. And again, that's proven time and time and time again. And here we're forcing him to kind of look at and acknowledge in front of other people that, I have no idea what's going on. I'm pretty much useless in terms of power at this point. The only reason that they're not just completely blipping him out of existence, or this variant of him, is because he might be useful in capturing a variant of himself that's even more powerful, right? So you just have him just kind of sitting here like, oh no, I have nothing. But he is determined to continue to ignore that little detail of him just being a loser.
And that right there is exactly why I felt so attached to Loki last night.
Yep.
And I mean, to be just completely transparent and honest, it is the feeling of feeling like a loser. And I've felt that time and time and time again. But one thing I want everybody out there to know, I want everybody out there to really make sure you grasp from this, is that you don't have to be a loser or feel like a loser forever. You can make sure that you don't give up. The thing I think I pride myself in the most out of anything in life, the thing that I've said to my mom, my friends, and it's something weird to, like, I guess say, but I tell them the thing I'm most proud of is the fact that I've never given up. I've failed. I've continued to hit continued to hit the bottom, and then maybe the trough gets even a little deeper, but I've never given up to the point where like I just give up. So I'm really in line with that part of Loki, which is he doesn't want to be that, right? And so I just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that feels that way and may have felt that sort of connection with Loki last night. Really take a look at your story, because there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with this so long as you keep going, keep trying. And so
now we get to ask the question, what's Loki's purpose now? Because at the end, and we didn't really touch on this a whole lot, he realizes he can't go back to that reality. He doesn't get to, because that's still playing out. He doesn't get to jump back into that timeline.
Yeah.
At all. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where he finds himself in terms of with the TVA and with that reality now and all of that. Just kind of, again, forcing him to look himself in the face and, no pun intended, take the bull by the horns and, choose to be the main character and not give up.
You mean those horns?
Those horns, yes. Take the helmet by the horns.
Grogu, what are you doing? Get down from there.
He wants to be powerful, Rick.
Grogu, take those off. No, not tonight.
Let him be powerful. He has the high ground.
Guys, I'm gonna tell you, get yourself a baby Grogu, and you will legit think baby Grogu.
I got one. I just don't know where it is.
You will legit think you have a Grogu with you. That man is that's my little man's right there.
But yeah, like you said, Loki is choosing to step up, or I hope what happens is he chooses to step up and kind of take it and run with it and not give up on it. Because, he could very easily just resign himself to never having anything like that ever again and never, seeing the love that he gets from his family and his brother. But I'm thinking and I'm hoping that he's gonna be like, okay, I was a loser. Not anymore.
Oh man, you're speaking my song right now. Seriously, like you're speaking because like that's literally like how I've felt, and but yeah, just I love the fact that we're gonna hopefully see him continue to keep going, not give up, and then I'm all for the beginning of a new arc to Loki. And hopefully that arc is what allows him to be in the MCU for another 10 years, another 3 phases, and see that all culminate.
I hope that he doesn't go full hero, because I love little trickster Loki.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so that's awesome. So with that said, oh, this is a good one. This is one of the last questions, though. But Billy248 says, wait, crazy theory, but the TVA can travel to different universes. But do you think they can travel to cartoon universes? That's a great question.
I don't because think that they'll do that in the show.
What if it's coming up, though?
But that'd be really cool to explore.
Yeah. That'd be super cool to explore because check this out. We got What If coming. Right, and that's literally a multiversal type of concept. Number one. Number two, the fact that the announcement or like the description of the TVA was done in an animation. Oh man! And then I mean, this one is way off because it's Sony, but Sony has the Spider-Verse, the one with Miles Morales, which was done beautifully. And that's a great question, Billy. That was an awesome question, actually. Oh, that'd
be so fun to explore.
Yeah, and especially it's the advent of Disney Plus. It's the advent of being able to have that platform that you can make unlimited content for, and because at the end of the day, if you are gonna watch Loki, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that has to do with Avengers 6, Avengers 5, because obviously the fear back then was like, well, we can't separate stuff because then people won't get what's going on in Avengers over here, right? So they kept it all movies. So if you go to the movies, you can see it all culminate in a movie. Now we're getting shows and stuff, shows and movies that culminate in a movie or in a show. And I said that all to say, I'm really excited to see all the little things they drop on Disney Plus that aren't as big as Loki, as big as WandaVision, but that still tie into Avengers 5, Avengers 6. So yeah.
What happened to cartoon Loki?
Yeah, right. What'd you say, Jordan?
Yeah, so what happened to Anthony? I thought he was coming back. I miss him.
Yeah,
Anthony.
Anthony, let's see. Yeah, he probably got caught up with something, but
I know, for real, is he? I'm sad. I'm kind of mad though at like the TVA and the Eternals. I'm like, did you all just watch what we had to endure with like Infinity War? You guys didn't do anything. Like, oh my god, like there was people like us just sitting there watching it on like a screen, like this hardship and death, and like they couldn't do anything. That's horrible. That's a great story though. You know, watching people get beat up, and you really just have to watch like and see what happens. Yeah. God.
The moral difficulties that brings up.
Yeah. It's for the greater good, I guess, but yikes.
I think with
greater good left.
I was destroying my emotional stability for like an entire year for the greater good.
That's funny.
But the TVA, it's like they were watching that happen in that line. You know, but like there's other multiverses going on, so they might have had their own, kind of like when Captain Marvel said, hey, this isn't just happening on Earth, it's happening in other places too. Like that, I mean, that's crazy. It's bigger than just this. I'm like, wow.
I'm not surprised with the TVA because they are setting them up to be like this bureaucratic ridiculousness. Yeah. I'm not surprised that they sat back and watched. I'll be interested to see how they explain the Eternals away, though.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that, but I do know we're going to have plenty of discussions just like these as we get closer to Eternals on that. Oh, you know what? I just came up with a good idea for a video. Oh, this is
Tell me
be
later.
Good. Yeah, I'll tell you guys all later. But Human Ramp is in the chat, everybody. Let's get a round of applause. Human Ramp, as you guys in the on this channel have seen Human Ramp before. He was on the streams before for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and yeah. So shout out to Human Ramp. I hope everything's going well. And guys, by the way, make sure to go check out his Twitch account. He streams him playing certain games, so definitely go check that out. But unfortunately, right now we are actually gonna same with Reddick. Reddick is in the chat. Couldn't join today, but that's okay. But for those of you just joining, I really do appreciate it. The only thing is I am going to be hopping off right now. I've got something to do, but this has been an amazing panel. Just, you know, I love it. I love the energy. It's continuing on. And phase 2 of Filmtopia is here, everybody. Again, if you love films, if you love movies, if you love making movies, if you love anything like that, make sure to subscribe. Filmtopia is your place exactly for that. And really quick, I believe on screen we're going to see something. Yeah, Filmtopian Human Ramp has donated $10. Sorry I missed last night's stream. Thank you, George. Thank you so much, Human Ramp. I appreciate that. That is seriously awesome of you to do. It means so much that you guys are continuing to support the channel, whether that's just through watching it, whether that's through donations such as Streamlabs, buymeacoffee.com. It means the world because it just means, honestly, to the way I interpret it, is that you guys are enjoying yourself. And that's the most important part. If there's any creators out there, if there's any artists out there, my sole piece of advice is to always make sure that you have others in mind and that you allow them to enjoy themselves as much as you're enjoying yourself. So yeah. And I think Jordan might have accidentally, something must have happened with her computer or phone, because I think she just dropped out. But we'll definitely catch up with Jordan later. And big round of applause for Jordan for coming on. Big round of applause for Anthony. Big round of applause. So thank you everybody that came on, that was able to be on the panel. And I just want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. And with that said, expect our beautiful faces once again sometime very, very soon. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure to hit those notification bells or whatever that thing is called, just so you know when I'm going to post stuff. I'll probably schedule a lot of things so people can make time. And with that said, let's keep the party going, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. If you guys haven't already, make sure to join the Discord down below. That's another place where we can talk and hang out. And then also all of the socials are down there at Filmtopians, Filmtopia NS. And we'll do this. We'll do this again.
To join
Lizzie.
the Discord, I will be posting a video of Jonah falling out of his chair. There's that.
Hey, if you guys want to see Jonah, a fellow Filmtopian, fall out of a chair, go over to the Discord. Lizzie's got you.
Check out the Discord. I got you.
So shout out to everybody: Zaku, Ulysses, Billy, Ben. Thank you so much, Ben, for being here. Human Ramp, Reddick, Pyro Hell, Jaden, Mad Cake. Man, I can go on and on and on. I'm the guy that doesn't shut up or doesn't turn off the stream. That's me.
Yes. Hashtag donate to the chair fund.
Hashtag donate to the chair fund, which we'll get into again sometime other if you don't already know. But Lizzie, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I will see you. I'm so glad we're seeing each other literally like daily now. Like,
I know, it's great. I love it.
Awesome. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much. We are going to head out and Filmtopia assemble. Peace.